today we are going to finish our bifold double folio journal, and that's right here. We have our 2 signatures. We're going to bind those into the cover and the Traveler's Notebook size cover. So we've got our 2 covers, our 2 signatures. I've got my 4 big binding clips, and I use my big ones. Then I'm going to bind with black waxed linen thread, and I've got my awl. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. So I'm going to set this aside. We'll do that 1 second just for whatever. And we've got our cover. We made this in the last video. This is our cover for our Traveler's Notebook sized journal. And so the first thing I'm going to do before I bind my book in, now these are both going to be just very simple 1 signature binding jobs, right? So we don't have to worry about making a template or doing any of that sort of stuff. This is just going to be 1 simple 5 pamphlet stitch bind. So I'm going to I always flip through and make sure that, you know, any of these pages that are shorter than the main pages, I'm going to make sure they're lined up and where I want them to be. I'm going to make sure that kind of thing isn't interfering. I don't want anything, like I don't want this fabric edge to be going into here at all. So I'm making sure that everything is where I intended it to be. Nothing like this is sticking out because we don't want to bind that into the signature. Like it, I forgot how fun these signatures were. That's good. And then in the center of this one, I have an envelope. So that's got to be open in order to bind through it. So I think we're looking good. I'm going to make sure top to bottom that things are pushed together and that we are solid down into the crease here. Then I am going to come to my cover and make sure, again, top to bottom, that I am, you know, equal head space. There's very little head space or footer space in this one. And I'm going to make sure that my crease is bending in the right spot here, right? And that I've got head and foot space. And then I'm going to hold it firmly. I'm going to pinch. I'm pinching really hard here with my fingers on either side of the fold right here, and my thumb right in the middle of the fold. And I'm going to pinch really hard, like, to make sure that that stays in place while I put on my first 2 binder clips. And these are going to have to be adjusted, trust me. I do this probably 3 or 4 times. Then I'm going to follow up and make sure that so now I'm putting my 2 fingers on the sides and my pointer in the middle there, my index finger. And I am going to put on these binder clips down here. Like so. And then really I don't mind if this is bulging out a little bit like that. What I really care about at this point is this center fold. So I want to look here and I want to see the point of my book is lining up with the points of all of where the page folds are. So you can see when I do this that it looks like it's pretty straight on. Sometimes you will end up with one page with they're sliding in one direction, and then you need to give them a little reclip. This one is just slightly over, so I'm gonna loosen up. Yeah, there, I'm happier about that. So see my folds, when I fold it, they're all good. That's what I want. Now let's check this one because it might not be as good. Usually the first one I do isn't as good. Oh no, check that out. It looks pretty good. Okay, so that means when I put my holes in here, it's going to go right through the middles of the fold and right through the middle of this fold on the outside. That's what I want. Since it's just a single signature, I eyeball. You can measure to find center and make your holes, but honestly, I just eyeball. So I'm looking for about center here. I think we're probably good right about there. So I'm going to push down. And then what I do is rotate the whole thing, and I'm literally kind of balancing it like it's swinging around on my awl. I put my fingers on both sides and I push straight up. And the reason I do this is because I feel like I get it straight through rather than going through at an angle. Okay, and it's easier to bind that way anyway, to get your needles through. So I'm not going to push my awl all the way up to the big part. I don't think I need it to. Then I go down to the bottom, and I come about a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch up, and I put my, sorry, make sure I'm in here. I put my bottom hole there. And again, I'm going to go, see what I'm trying to do is not go sideways like this, but go straight through. And that's why balancing it kind of like this works. Just make sure when you do this, you don't jab into your finger, because I've certainly done that. Okay. Now we're going to come about a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch down here. I'm going to poke, then I'm going to do my little balancy trick so that I get straight up and down. Once I know where it's coming through, I'll put my fingers right next to it like this, so that I'm putting pressure down on the spine so that I'm not tearing the paper too much or giving it any extra stress. So I've got here and here, and I'm gonna now eyeball halfway in between those two holes. This is gonna be my 4th. And then I'm at here and here, and I'm going to eyeball halfway between those two holes. All right, I've got my 5 holes punched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to take my needle, and I'm going to take, I go over by 1 inch or 2 on both ends, and then I double that up. And then I'm going to thread my needle. I lost my needle with my really good bigger eye on it. All right, so here's the 5-hole pamphlet stitch. I'll do it on this one, and then I'll fast forward it on the big one. But we're gonna go, if you want your binding strings on the inside, so if you want the ends of your binding strings on the inside, you're gonna start on the inside. If you want them hanging out on the outside so you can tie beads or charms to them, then you would start on the outside. But I'm gonna have mine on the inside, so I'm gonna go down through the middle. And then I'm going to take some leftover here, and I'm going to clip it under here, just so I don't lose, whoops, so I don't lose it too easily as I'm binding, because sometimes I'll just pull it right through inadvertently. So I went down through the middle, then I'm going to come up through here, then I'm going to go down through that last one over here. And then I'm going to come back up through the second, through this one that I just sewed. Whoops, that was smart. I'm going to come back up through there, and now I'm going to try really hard not to sew through my thread. I don't want to split my thread, because then when I go to tension it, it will not work. Now I'm going to go down through here, and again, I'm going to try really hard not to split my thread. I don't think I have. And then we've got the bottom half sewn. Now we're going to go back through the upper middle hole. Oh, come on. There we go. And, you know, keep a pretty good tension on it as you go here. Then we're going to go down through the top hole. Then we're going to go back through that upper middle hole and try not to split our thread again. All right, so then we don't go through any more holes. We take this side of so here's our loose end, right? I just took it out from under there. And then we're gonna just go under this string right here. Okay, so I'm gonna put it up closer so you can see what I'm doing. I just came through this last one, and now I'm just gonna put my needle under that thread. And then I can take my needle off. Now, you can pull them in the directions you sewed. So the loose end that was here went this way first, so I can pull it away from that. And this top one that we just took the needle off came from that direction, so I can pull it this way. So I'm going to tension them by just giving them a little tug. Now, if you're using waxed linen like I am, it kind of gives you a nice tension anyway. Then my thing that I do before I tie the knot is I come back here and I just use my fingernail to make sure that all of these have good tension and they're nice and tight, because you don't want a loose binding. You don't want to over tighten it, because then you'll start tearing your pages. But now we're just going to give it a nice double knot, and the waxed linen makes a nice tight knot there that does not come out. There we go. Now we can take off our binder clips. And I'm going to trim I'm going to trim these way down because they're going to be inside this envelope. So I don't need them to be long. And then while I'm in here, I'm going to seal up this envelope. So this is what you do if you want to include an envelope in the middle of your signature. So you sew it in open, and then we're going to close up the edges here and turn it into an actual envelope. All right. So now we've got an envelope. I don't want to mess with it too much because I just glued these edges. So look at that there. We've got an envelope in the middle of our signature. Pretty cool. And now it's bound. Everything is in there. I usually flip my whole signature over, and I kind of just push down with my finger, and then I flip it all over to the front. I push down with my finger, and then I usually go through every page and just give it a little bit of a run my finger along, just to make sure that it's, you know, nice, and it's like you're getting a mini flip through here. These new kits from Tracy Fox, you guys, they are so fun. This is the Compendium MK2. All this ephemera is from her ephemera mix and match kits. These are bumper butterflies. This is all from that mix and match ephemera. Mega mix and match 1 and 2. Look at Matchy. Aw. All right. So there we go. That is bound in there nice and good. And the last thing we have to do is tie our knot here and trim our elastics. So what I'm going to do is just kind of make a guess. I want it to be big enough that it's easy to go over, but tight enough that it's actually going to hold it shut, right? So I've got it over the edge and I'm pulling tight just till it's where I feel like that's good. That's good. And then I'm going to put my finger here so I hold it. And I'm going to push down on this so that I can hopefully tie the knot without pulling it through anymore. Oh, come on. This is when my fingers start to stop working with me. And this elastic string is not wanting to just bend nice into a knot. Okay, now I'm gonna pull that knot, not all the way tight yet, and just make sure that it's not too huge. I feel like I loosened it up. Yeah, I loosened it up, so I want to make it a little tighter in that direction. I just tied a second knot right over top of that one, and it's all good. And now I'm just going to trim off. There we go. That works. So there is our first one bound, and this is going to be the side that we see from the outside of the journal. So we'll probably decorate that up a little bit. But let me set that aside because now we have to address getting this signature into this cover. So I'm going to do my same thing, flip through and make sure all my pages are where I want them. Okay, they are good the way they are. And now I'm going to do the same thing where I make sure that the bulk of the pages are top and bottom correct. And then I'm going to pinch there. Okay guys, I am satisfied with the way I've got it clipped. It's a little bit tricky because this page I've torn is really small, so I'm going to flip my clip edges over. Usually I just go on without doing that, but I'm going to do it here. And then I'm going to need to line those up. Now I've got those, well, I should have just left them open for now because I've got to clip them onto here too. I was just trying to hold that middle page in without losing it, but I suppose I'll do that after. So I've got it kind of caught down on the bottom here. Now I've got a 1-inch spine, and I know that I can see the stitch marks here, right? So I know that that's about the middle, is about the middle of that. So I am going to put my signature where I can see that the top middle fold is in the middle there, and move it up. And my bottom fold, so hopefully the goal would be when I do this, I can kind of see where my stitching is and see that my journal looks like it's about the middle there. The other thing that I can look for is that there's equal distance between the bottom of the pages and the bottom of the book on both sides. That would mean that it's not skewed in one direction or the other, so that it should be getting bound in correctly. So if I go to this side and check, I can see my stitches and it looks like it's up and down correct. And when I go to this side, it does the same thing. So now I'm going to hold this whole thing in place. I'm going to scoot this all to the edge of my desk. You can't really see that all that well, but I'm going to do that so that I can release the clip. I'm holding down hard with this hand to hold this in place. So when I release the clip and then clip it through both the signature and to the book cover as well. I'm going to do that over the edge of my desk. And then I'm going to do this side. There we go. I'm going to flip those up. I'm going to take this and whoops. Make sure that's still centered. Yeah. Now I'm going to take this and do the same thing on this side. Okay, whoops. Got that on the edge of my desk. Now I'm just gonna double check that when I go like this, I can see where my spine is and that those folds are in the center of where my spine's gonna be. And I can tell that looks pretty good. This looks straight along this edge, right? I don't have like a whole bunch of space here and not enough space there. And it looks even along the bottom edge as well. So I think I am good to go. So I'm going to, again, find center. I'm going to push down. And now remember, you're going through like not only all your signature pages, but all of our layers on our spine as well. So the tenting little trick that I did on our traveler's notebook's not going to work as well. So I'm going to move this to the edge, just to the edge of my desk. So this whole side's still supported so that I can poke all the way through. Let me see if I can move this. Yeah, okay, here's the edge of my desk. So here's what I'm going to do. Move this just to the edge of my desk. And then I'm going to look, and look, I'm coming right through. Here I am. I'm coming right through the spine, right about middle-ish, which is what I want. And I'm going to keep going through. Let's see. Yep. I'm going to keep going through. I don't want to go all the way through up to the biggest part, but there we go. I've got hole number 1. Now I'm going to come down towards the bottom. Do the same thing. And I'm trying to go straight down as best I can because it just makes it easier to sew. Oh my goodness, that's strong. Then I'm going to find middle in between there. And when I say find middle, like I said, I'm just eyeballing. So far so good. All of my pokes look like they're right in the middle, like I'd want them to be. Then I'm going to come up here and go to the edge. And then find middle-ish in between those two holes. And one last poke. Oh, there's my arm workout for the day. Okay, I'm gonna get my thread. And my needle. And I'm going to bind it the same way that I did the last one. So let's take our clips off. We won't be needing those. And then I'm going to trim these down on the inside here. Sometimes I do fun stuff with those, we'll see. I'm going to crease it down from that side and crease it down from that side. And looky there, guys, we've got that bound. So everything looks good. Everything's copacetic. I'll go through and crease it later. But yeah, everything turns like it should. So we're good. Nothing seems bound in funny. Everything's good. Oops. So there we go. We've got that one done, and then this one. So see how the bulk of that side is there. If we put this in this way, then we'd have way too much bulk on this edge. So we're gonna flip it over and put it in this way. So we kind of split the difference. And there we go. Look at that. Finally complete. Now, the only thing to do is some finishing, right? So if you want to decorate anything there, I'm going to do a little bit of just kind of decoration here. I am going to put my maker's mark right here. So I keep a bunch of these kind of ready to go. I make a bunch at once. And then I make them to about the size that I think I want. And we'll ink the edges of that. I'll glue that down. And then there's just a few little things to do. I mean, you can kind of just keep going with a journal forever, right? At some point you have to decide you're done. And so there's Musings by Nikki. Then I also keep, with my Musings by Nikki things, I keep some Ex Libris. Let's see, I'm going to go with a big one. And I think I'll put that right inside. I keep some ready to go, so I think I'll put that right inside down in this corner. I don't put one in every journal. Matter of fact, a lot of times I don't. But if I'm not decorating the inside cover, which I'm not going to do here because there's already kind of enough bulk in this. So if I'm not decorating the inside cover, then sometimes I will put one of these little Ex Libris tags in if it matches kind of the theme. And this is a real just eclectic, you know, fun, eclectic, vintagey kind of looking junk journal. So we're going to put one in here because I think it just adds. So we've got a maker's mark and an Ex Libris tag in there. Then I think I'm done with where I want to be with this part of the journal. These pockets all have tags and stuff in them. So what I'm going to do is take this out. And there were just a couple of like finishing things that I wanted to do to this. The one of them being that I wanted to put something in this pocket. So I had grabbed out, I've got from one of Tracy Fox's, one of her kits. It is the one, oh my goodness, it's the one that she did. It's a 2-part kit and a bunch of vintage paper. It is escaping me right now. Anyway, these were in there and they're just some postcard blanks. And I thought that would look cute in there, but I want to put some sort of stamp. You have little stamps, but I thought it would be cute if we put an actual stamp on there. So I'm going to find my stamps and then I'll be right back and we'll put some stamps on there. Okay guys, so I brought out a couple things. I've got my package of stamps. So let's just pick out a couple fun stamps here. Let's see, let's go with, ooh, that guy. That's a pretty green one. And that purpley one. There we go. I like that. We'll glue those on. They're, some of these are unused, but there's no way I'm licking them because God only knows where they have been, right? And that old adhesive, these are canceled, so these are used. But it looks like I could still lick it. There's still adhesive on the back, but yuck. This just adds a little extra fun onto the postcards. I think this is about all I'll do. They can just be used to write notes on or anything, or whoever gets this can decide to decorate them more if they so desire. Okay, so that is cute. So we'll put these into this back pocket here. So there's something in there, and then we don't need anything in there. And then I'm gonna close this up and we're going to do some decorating on the back. I grabbed some, I grabbed one of my Tracy Fox random bits and pieces of all kinds of randomness. So we're gonna go through here. Then I grabbed some little stickers, craft stickers and stuff that I've got. So I figure we can throw a couple of those on. Here's a cute one. Maybe we'll go with the Eiffel Tower on there too, and this little leaf. We'll go with those on. And then let's layer up. I've got some music paper. We'll put that on there. What else have I got in here that I want to do? got a little forget-me-not. Not all of this is from Tracy Fox. Some of this is cut from other places. Oh, actually, I like this little notes. That's from Edith Holden, I believe. Some of these are Tracy's. Butterflies and things. Well, we've got some mushrooms. Some mushroom fodder. Here's some more music paper. Maybe we can put a couple little rips of that. Here's a little fairy picture. Or we could stick some mushrooms on there. Maybe a giant mushroom. And stick a giant mushroom on there somewhere. We're going to just make this all randomness. Okay, so let's just do this. Let's start layering this up. Oh, I like the other side better. See, I knew something was telling me to flip it over. There are more notes on this side. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start gluing down and see where we go. Okay, then I will, this is from that same kit. It's still not coming to me, the name of it, and that's making me a little bit crazy. As always, if you guys have any questions about what I'm doing here, you can certainly always leave them in the description, in the comments down below, and I will do my best to answer them or just make a video to show you what it is that I'm talking about. I'm going to ink the edges of these stickers. Now, I always hate trying to peel the paper back. Ooh, that one came quick. But I don't always trust stickers on their own, so I put a little smudge of glue on there because I just don't trust them on their own. Eiffel Tower's going way down in the corner here. Okay, and then maybe some more music paper up here. Ink the edge of that. It's been a while since I walked through something kind of start to finish like this, even though I didn't do the signatures with you guys. I figure there are lots of videos on how to do that too. This was more about kind of building the covers out and getting that part of it done. Yeah, why not? We're just going to layer this all up. The Mega Mix and Match kit, kits that I've used for these books, is so expansive, and whoa, that's you get so many pieces of ephemera that you could be totally using that right now to do this. Actually, maybe I'll go sideways like this. You could totally be using that, but I've literally used, I'm so proud of myself, you guys. Look, this is all I had left from that whole kit. I had that thing was overflowing times 2, and I got it down to this. I'm pretty proud of myself. That'll go up there. So now I'm just using other little bits and pieces. These, I keep these kind of boxes around because that's what I do with, you know, if at the end of a, especially like a Tracy Fox design team project, I will keep all my little bits that I didn't use. Oh, glue. Do I want a mushroom down here? What else do I have? I have this little, I might not put the mushroom. I don't know. We'll see. Let's put this on and then we'll see how I feel. We'll put a little glue. I'm kind of sad. It's late in the evening now, and we had such a beautiful day today. And now it's supposed to get really cold for the next few days again. This is Minnesota. You get winter, 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 winter. Then you get full spring for a few minutes, and you think that it's maybe going to be spring, but it's not, because there's always a second blow coming. I might want a mushroom, but I think this one is too big. So let me see if I can find, ooh, or there's a bird. No, because that looks like it's just literally sitting on top of the Eiffel Tower. Strange. Let's do that one. It helps that I'm doing this over the top of Tim Holtz paper that is already like a collage unto itself. That makes this much easier. So as I'm sitting here, it's pitch black outside, but I can see the one street light, and I have my window still cracked just a hair from earlier today, and I can smell the winter air coming back in. Ah, brother. I'm trying to decide if I want a little cheesecloth behind that or something. Let's look in my little bin of goodies. That's not long enough. Oh, look, I've got a piece of cheesecloth that looks like it's probably just the right size. I think this is literally the last thing we need to do, guys. And I think after we put this down, this is Dunzo's. This one's in the books. Move on to next projects. I really kind of want to challenge myself to recreate this in a little bit smaller version now, because I think that would be fun. So I might just try and do that quick. I've got a bunch of papers that when I was cleaning and reorganizing my studio, I came across just the stack of papers that kind of looked like it was meant to be in a signature and was random stuff. So I kind of set it right over on my desk over there, and I thought maybe I'll just bind that into a journal. So maybe I'll use that to make a smaller version of this. Okay, so the reason we decorate seems weird, right? This is the front. The reason we decorate the back is because that's what we see, right, when we put this in, because we put it in upside down, or I mean backwards. So when you open it up, that's what you see. And then this comes over and closes. There's plenty of room there. I did a pretty good job guessing. I might have made it a little tighter if I had known, but I'm good with where it's at. So you guys, we are finished. We are finished with the Bi-Fold double journal cover, folio style cover. So I hope that you had so much fun doing this with me, and I hope you aren't frustrated or like have too many questions. But if you have questions, if you need to know anything about any part of this process, leave it in the comments below, and like I said, I will do my best to answer your questions as best I can. Oh, one more thing I was going to do. I had pulled out a bulb pin, and then I have this little Tim Holtz charm, and I just wanted to clip it over here. I thought I did that on my last one, and it was kind of cute. So I just want to do that one here too. I'm clipping it over the, or under, excuse me, the elastics here. There we go. It's like sometimes it's the little things that, you know, completely finish a thing. There, now we've got just a little thing. It says, do what you love. It's like one more little thing to finish it up. So anyway, if you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope that you guys had a good time making this with me, and I am looking forward to next projects, and we'll just craft along on some more things. I've got some ideas of things in the works. Like I said, I've got that project going on over there that I'm thinking about doing next, and I will certainly bring you along as I craft. And I've got a couple of other ideas swimming around in my head. So I will certainly see you back. I also have not done a live for like a whole year, and so I would like to do a live again at some point here in the near future, hopefully. I've got this new camera, and I think I've figured out how to do a live on it. So I will give that a go at some point here. Maybe you'll just see me randomly pop up live one day, or watch for a notification that I'm going live. And I would love to have you join me and chat with me. That's always fun too. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, whatever time it is on whatever side of this planet of ours that you live on. And until I see you next time, guys, take care. I hope you are well. I hope that you are safe and healthy and being able to do something creative. So take care. God bless you. Bye, guys.